Hello, Fast Signs family. Catherine here. I can't believe it, but we're about 20 weeks into this COVID-19 thing. It's a little bit longer in the UK, depending on where you are in the US. Maybe it's a little less than 20, but we're here at Fast Signs International about 20 weeks into COVID-19, and it's hard to believe. On one hand, it's flown by. On the other hand, it seems like a lifetime. I was talking to a franchisee this weekend who was kind of down, kind of frustrated. They'd seen some increases in sales with, COVID-19, social distancing signage and barriers and safety screens and things like that. But they were really struggling to get their sales volume up to kind of like pre-COVID levels. And we're making progress there. But I think one of the things we need to really think about in the Fast Signs network is we've got to build market share. We got to take market share. We know that there are some businesses that have gone out of business, and until somebody reopens in their locations, those areas, those locations aren't going to need more signage and visual graphics. We know that once somebody's bought their safety signage and their social distancing and signage and their safety screens, they're not going to need new ones unless they get broken or damaged, or perhaps the CDC or a different government organization changes the rules. Maybe it changes to 4 feet or changes to 10 feet. Wouldn't that be great? If they could change it every month, that would actually even be better. So I was talking to this franchisee about success being a function of superb execution of the basic fundamentals, and that got me to reflecting on what I believe are the 5 common characteristics of all highly successful people. And because I am in the sign industry, I happen to have a sign in my office of the 5 common characteristics of all highly successful people: positive mental attitude, goal-directed behavior, self-motivation, a sense of urgency, and never stopping learning. And as I was thinking about success being a function of superb execution of the basic fundamentals, and that there are 5 common characteristics of all highly successful people, I think it's just really good to refresh myself on those fundamentals. And that's what I want to do today. And what I'm thinking about is maybe this is right for your kids or your grandkids, or maybe this message is right for your team members. Maybe this message is right for your nieces and nephews. I don't know, but that's what I was thinking about. How do we get back to the basics? So I happen to believe that positive mental attitude is the foundation of all success. And whenever I have the opportunity to speak to high school kids, speak to college kids, this is my message about learning how to have that mental discipline to have a positive outlook or a positive mindset. I have not met a successful person that does not have one. And I really think that that's foundational to all of the 4 other common characteristics. It was Colin Powell who said, perpetual optimism is a force multiplier. And I have certainly found that to be true in my life. I've found that to be true in our franchise network. I've found that to be true with my team. And it really comes down to this truth. And that is the quality of our thoughts, the quality of my thoughts, the quality of your thoughts determine the quality of our lives, right? If I have bad thoughts, negative thoughts, it's going to affect the quality of my life. So the quality of our thoughts determines the quality of our life. And so in order to grow, we have no choice but to first watch our thoughts closely and then root out the negativity and replace it with more productive thinking. And really, this has been a best practice, or this has been truth for centuries. For thousands and thousands of years, humanity's top achievers have known that what you think is what you get. In other words, the thoughts that occupy your mind most of the time are going to be made manifest in your life. And that's why negative thoughts are so very, very, very dangerous, or for negative or unproductive. Whether you believe you can do a thing or not, you're right. And while Henry Ford said that, that is true in my life. If I believe that I can do something, I'm more likely to be able to do it. But if I don't think I can do it, I'm absolutely not going to achieve it. The world of achievement has always, always belonged to the optimist. And part of that is because no one will ever be more successful than in their minds they see themselves being. And this is just reality. Successful people in their minds envision themselves being more successful, and unsuccessful ones envision the opposite. So if I was thinking about the challenges of managing a Fast Signs business and driving sales and profitability, I would be envisioning in my mind, even if you will, playing it over and over, a visualization of how I'm going to achieve those things. And that is because nothing can stop the man with the right mental attitude from achieving his goal, or the woman, and nothing on earth can help the person with the wrong mental attitude. And that's kind of a takeoff on something that Thomas Jefferson said. Thomas Jefferson has like 1,000 quotes to live by. It's worth Googling because they're all really, really, really good. And, it was Zig Ziglar that said, people often say that motivation doesn't last. Well, either does bathing, and that's why he happened to recommend both daily. I absolutely start every day thinking about reading a positive quote because I want to make sure that my thinking doesn't stink. It's kind of the same reason I take a shower every morning. And attitudes are so contagious. I want you to think about you as the leader and your team, or you as a mom or a dad to your family, or a grandmother or a grandfather to your family, right? Your attitude is so truly contagious. And so the question is yours worth catching? You want to have that attitude that has a positive impact on all those people around you. If we go back to Roman times, Marcus Aurelius said, "We become what we think about. A man's life is what his thoughts are made of." I'm going to say a woman's life is what her thoughts are made of. But even going back to Roman time, these, if you will, life lessons, these life basics, these common characteristics of achievement were recognized and known back then. A negative mind is never going to get anybody a positive life. One of the things Zig Ziglar said is that evidence is conclusive that your self-talk has a direct bearing on your performance. And that's why I often say to people, don't say that negative thing about yourself. You should never say anything negative about yourself or your business unless you want it to come true. That positive mindset, this positive mindset is the fastest way to overcome our limits. Know that you'll be a success, then your success is assured. And that is because the mind is a manifesting machine, but it runs on the fuel we put into it. Positive mental attitude, foundational. And if we can help our employees, our family members, understand that and learn to develop those skills, they're going to be happier, they're going to be more productive, they're going to love their lives more. Second common characteristic of all highly successful people is goal-directed behavior. I have seen again and again in my interaction with franchisees, in this network, in prior brands that I worked with, I'll even say at the International Franchise Association, that all high achievers plan their work and work their plan. And that's why we want you to have a business plan. So important. All the business plan for your FASTSIGNS is a list of goals of what you want to accomplish and how you're going to get it done. And the reason that's so important is in the absence of clearly defined goals, we as humans become really strangely loyal to just daily trivia. So we could be in our businesses just being busy, but not working on the stuff that's going to drive the business forward. People with goals succeed because they know where they're going. And, that's something that Tony Robbins talks about all the time, is the importance of writing down clear goals. I have goals written down for me in my career, for FASTSIGNS International, for myself personally. I look at them again and again. There's kind of an abbreviated list on the bathroom mirror so I can see it when I'm putting my makeup on every morning. I want to refresh my memory and program my mind on all the things I want to achieve. And that's because people will always get what they focus on. So planning is bringing the future into the present so you can do something about it now. So we've talked about positive mental attitude, goal-directed behavior. The third is self-motivation. And that is because successful people do the things that less successful people are unwilling to do. And I had the opportunity years ago to meet Jenny Craig before she passed away. You may remember that name, Jenny Craig. She founded a large, very successful chain of weight loss clinics. And one of the things that Jenny said, in fact, it was on her wall in her office down in San Diego, California, is it's not what you do once in a while, it's what you do day in and day out that makes a difference, which is why I have my goals on my bathroom mirror so I can see them every single day. It's not like once a month I want to look at them, right? And it's why I start the day with a reflection on a positive quote, because it's what I do day in and day out that makes a difference. Thomas Jefferson said, "I am a great believer in luck, and I find the harder I work, the more I have of it. The harder he worked, the more luck he had. And that harder work is that self-motivation, doing a couple more things every single day to achieve your goals. Because it all comes down to discipline is remembering what you want. And the big rewards come to those people who have the self-motivation to go that extra mile, that undemanded mile. I've also had the opportunity to get to know and learn from Jimmy John Littlewand, who's the gentleman who started the Jimmy John's chain that he sold for $1 billion, right? So, I mean, he knows something about hard work and achieving goals. And one of the things that he likes to say is if you do the things you need to do when you need to do them, then someday you can do the things you want to do when you want to do them. And that's that self-motivation to achieve your goals, your FASTSIGNS goals, your career goals, whatever they are, so that you can achieve what you want to in the long run. So we've talked about positive mental attitude, goal-directed behavior, self-motivation. The next common characteristics, I believe, of all highly successful people is a sense of urgency. Thomas Jefferson said, never put off to tomorrow what you can do today. John F. Kennedy said, things do not happen, things are made to happen. And what we need to be is action-oriented people that make things happen. The founder of FASTSIGNS, Gary Solomon, said the universe rewards action, that sense of urgency, that making it happen. And it really comes down to the difference between try, T-R-Y, and triumph, getting things done, is just a little umph, right? And so that umph is that sense of urgency. And the fifth common characteristic of highly successful people, never stopping learning. You know, leaders are readers. It is good for everybody to become a student of success. Successful business people, successful businesses, successful sporting teams. Learn, watch them, see what they do, and implement what you learn. That's all about never stopping learning, because continuous high performance is driven by continuous improvement. Continuous learning is continuous improvement. So these 5 common characteristics of all highly successful people are all learned skills. I'm working every single day to get better in each of them. And as we think about 20 weeks or so into this pandemic, refreshing our memories on the basics, thinking about success as a function of superb execution of the basic fundamentals, let's focus on those basic fundamentals of being a highly successful person. Let's get better every day at coming in and being a leader with that positive outlook, that positive mindset that motivates our team. Let's make sure we have a business plan for our business. We know what we want to accomplish. We have goals and key performance indicators and that we're watching them. Let's make sure we're self-motivated. Let's make sure we have a sense of urgency and we're doing a couple more things every day before we call the end of the day. And let's make sure that we're continuing to up our knowledge and learning more and more about leadership and different kinds of visual graphics and how to motivate others, because that will help us be better leaders in our team. So I'm working to get better at all 5 of these, and I just wanted to share my thoughts with you today. Thanks for spending time with me. Bye.